Welcome to this explainer. Think about two types of leaders. Leader A works incredibly hard when they're motivated, right? But their productivity goes up and down, their team depends totally on their mood, and the results, well, they're wildly inconsistent. Then you have Leader B. Leader B has systems in place. Their team knows exactly what to do, results stay completely stable even when energy levels dip, and progress just keeps happening, day in and day out. Motivation creates moments. Systems create results. Which one are you building right now? Today, we are dismantling the myth of the lone genius leader and giving you a systematic, repeatable toolkit. Because if your success depends on your mood, failure actually becomes predictable.
So ask yourself, what really is the best leadership style? When a sudden crisis hits or you're bringing on a brand new team member, what is the single most effective way to step up? Are you supposed to be a grand visionary, a strict taskmaster, or maybe just a highly engaged collaborator? Well, trying to just guess the right approach based on your gut, that's relying on motivation.
The reality is, a one-size-fits-all approach is a total myth. Over 55 years ago, Dr. Paul Hersey co-developed the situational leadership model, and he proved there is simply no single best style. The most effective approach relies entirely on the individual's ability and willingness for a very specific task. If you're banking on your default motivational style working for everybody, you're going to hit a wall fast. Great leaders don't guess. They use a system. Okay, here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, adapting to the follower. Second, tackling adaptive challenges. Third, firing up the emotional intelligence engine. And finally, making the servant leader shift. Let's get into it. Section 1. Adapting to followers using the situational leadership model. Situational leadership is a brilliant system because it forces you to adjust your approach based on what your team member actually needs right then and there. You're balancing two behaviors. On one hand, you've got directive behavior, literally just telling someone what to do and exactly how to do it. On the other hand, you have supportive behavior, listening, sparking two-way communication, and allowing them to participate. Think of every single interaction as a highly precise, standardized mix of these two. So as an employee grows, a leader systematically moves through 4 distinct steps. You kick things off with directing for beginners, giving them close supervision so they have clear structure. As they learn the ropes, you shift to coaching, providing the context to get their buy-in. When their competence really starts to peak, you move to collaborating, where you're sharing the decision-making process. And finally, empowering, delegating the whole shebang to an autonomous expert. You aren't just changing your mind on a whim here. You are systematically standardizing their path to absolute mastery. All right, Section 2, tackling adaptive challenges, or leading without easy answers. But, what happens when the problem itself is completely ambiguous? You have to diagnose the work first. Harvard's Dr. Ronald Heifetz breaks this down into technical and adaptive challenges. Technical challenges have clear, known solutions, right? Like upgrading a server or fixing a bug in the code. Adaptive challenges, though, they are messy. There is no agreed-upon fix. People literally have to learn new ways of working or entirely shift their core values. If you try to solve an adaptive challenge with a quick technical fix, like, say, just sending out a company-wide email mandate, it is going to fail every single time. This brings us to a stark contrast between two things we usually lump together: authority and leadership. See, authority provides protection, gives direction, and supplies the answers. But you absolutely cannot solve an adaptive challenge with mere authority. Handing down an answer from on high, that completely robs your team of the learning process they desperately need to go through. True leadership is about mobilizing people to face their own toughest problems. You have to give the work back to the people who actually need to change.
To pull this off systematically, a leader has to fluidly shift between what Heifetz calls the balcony and the dance floor. On the dance floor, you are right in the thick of the action, intervening, framing the issues, running experiments. But you can't stay down there. You have to consistently step back up to the balcony to observe the wider system at play. From up there, you can spot the hidden alliances, the repeating patterns, and the subtle ways your team might be actively avoiding the painful work of real change.
Moving to Section 3, the emotional intelligence engine, which powers collaborative behavior. Now, to navigate these tricky adaptive shifts without burning out, a leader needs an incredibly powerful internal engine. An INSEAD study revealed something really surprising about emotional intelligence. Your self-awareness and your ability to regulate your emotions, they don't directly make you this charismatic, visionary leader. Instead, they power what are called getting along behaviors, things like teamwork and cooperation. And here's the secret sauce. You literally cannot effectively exhibit getting ahead behaviors, like inspiring a massive grand vision, until you've mastered getting along. You have to build a safe, collaborative system first before you can energize anyone to follow you.
Which leads us to Section 4, the servant leader shift, or cultivating potential.
This is the ultimate mindset shift required to execute all of these frameworks consistently. Coined by Robert Greenleaf back in 1970, servant leadership is a philosophy where your primary motivation isn't power, it isn't status. It begins with the natural, genuine feeling that one wants to serve, and to serve first. It's all about ensuring your team's highest priority needs are met before your own.
Traditional leadership often focuses on transforming followers to serve the company's goals. Servant leaders flip that script. They exhibit profound humility to serve their followers' needs. And massive global research backs this up. It isn't just some Western concept. Traits like empowerment, trust, and altruism, they resonate across entirely different national cultures, universally. A leader who systematically puts their people first is highly effective anywhere in the world, because human nature intrinsically responds to genuine support.
And let me be clear, this isn't just some feel-good theory. It is a rigorous system that drives hard results. When a leader consistently exhibits servant behaviors, it builds deep perceptions of trust and fairness. Because employees feel safe and supported, they reliably output massive results. Job satisfaction spikes, overall performance increases, and people willingly go way above and beyond their basic job descriptions to help their coworkers. The service is literally what fuels the system.
I want to leave you with this final thought to challenge how you scale your impact. Are you building followers to serve your vision, or are you systematically serving your followers to build their potential? Remember, great leaders don't chase motivation. They build systems that make success inevitable. Systems are what allow leadership to scale way beyond one person. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Next time, in Module 12, we'll be tackling final leadership mastery, bringing everything together into real-world leadership impact. See you then.